Last night I picked up my daughter. It's late, it's 9:30 p.m. She's just finished her shift at Subway. My daughter's a beautiful, young, confident, sassy girl, and this is her first job at Subway. She's had it for about almost 6 months now. It's actually quite hilarious because the way she talks when she finishes is very much like someone who's been at a dead-end job for the past 20 years. She's like, oh my God, I can't take it anymore. I don't get paid enough for this. So I pick her up at 9:30. She smells like meatballs. Her hair's frazzled. She looks absolutely exhausted. And she goes to me, Dad, this job is horrible. I'm so tired. I don't know why I do it. I'm not getting paid enough. And this moment calls for some daddy talk. As we're driving home, I have a chat to my daughter and I just go, okay, tell me what's happening. And she goes, the boss isn't great. There's so many people at the place. She's not quite comfortable with the till yet. She's on her feet. Like she goes to school all day, and then she might have an hour break, and then she will do 4 to 5 hours at Subway. Not every single day, maybe just 2 to 3 times a week. But even in those times, she would prefer to be at home like any normal person and just be relaxing. But she's working. She was really proud to be working. This is her first job. She was very excited for about the first 2 sessions. Every single time after that, it's been a downhill slide. So I told her, the most important thing to know when you're working is, what's your why? Why are you working? And she thought about it. And she said, the money. And I said, darling, let me give you a piece of advice. Never make money your why. And she goes, why? And I say, because it will never be enough. As soon as you make money your why, it will never make you passionate enough about what you're doing. She goes, but I don't even really like Subway. I'm sure if I did something else, she's actually even looking for another job, I might actually like that better. But I go, well, are you doing it because you enjoy the job or because you're trying to get more money? She goes, trying to get more money. And I told her again, don't make money your why. And I go, but money is just something that we exchange for what we really want. So what do you really want? And why are you doing this in the first place? And she thought about it and we bantered a bit. And then she said it was her original idea was to get a car. And I go, okay, what kind of car would you like? She goes, oh, I love one of those Mitsubishi Lancers or those Mazda 1 or 2, or one of those cars, one of those cute little curvy cars with a fin at the back and everything. And I go, okay, how much would it cost you to get one of those? And she's been looking on Gumtree, so it's about 2 to 3 grand. And I go, what kind of color would you like? And she goes, oh, I'd love a black one or a red one. Okay. And how would you feel when you finally have that car? And what would you do with it? She goes, oh, I'd love to pick up my friends and I'd feel amazing. And you could see her face light up as she talked about the car that she really wants. And I said, darling, make that your why. I know it doesn't make your job any easier. It really doesn't. I mean, a job's a job sometimes, especially when you're young. You get what you can get. But it's only there to get you money. And money is only there to get you what you really want. To buy you some space or to buy you something which will, help improve your life. And, I think she really got it. This morning she woke up, she was in a better mood, and she has to work today as well. And I think maybe she will take that to heart and think about what she's really doing this for. She has a couple of big goals. We've been goal setting throughout the years, and She also wants to go to America with her friends and etc. And she knows that takes money. I also want to finish off with one quick other main point as well. And the point is, even when you have a why, okay, you know your why, but you may not like what you're doing. You may not like what you have to do or feel like you have to do to get there. Whatever you're doing to get to where you want to go, I really think you have to realize it's a choice. Even if you feel like your choices are limited, even if you feel like you're kind of stuck, whatever you're doing to get to where you want to go, it's still your choice to do it or not. You actually have the choice. Because when you take away that choice from yourself, naturally, as normal people, as human beings, we rebel against anything that stifles our freedom. We start to get bitter, we start to regret, we start to fight against it because we naturally want freedom. So whenever we, in our mind, lock ourselves into saying we have no choices, or I have to do this job, or I have to do this thing, we naturally go against it, and then we don't really have good feelings about it. So even when you know your why, you need to go back one more step and just go, this is my why, and there are many, many, many ways to get there. This is one way I'm going to choose to get there. And as long as everything you do is a choice, you realize that you have the power. And as soon as you have the power, you then have the power to decide how you're going to feel about it. So like my daughter, I've tried to instill in her that she has the choice about how she can view this. She can view this as a 4 to 5 hours of hell where she gets to smell like meatballs and customers aren't nice and she gets told off by her boss. Or she can see this as a choice to learn new skills, to develop her interpersonal skills, to develop areas that she's not strong at, to get the experience so she can get to the next job, and also to save enough money to get that car and to go to America, what she really wants. Everything's a choice. Sometimes we actually have to have the courage to actually say, no, we're not going to choose this, so we can choose something else. I myself have had to have the courage multiple times. It's really, really hard to say no to something you feel like you might have an obligation to say no to something that might actually hurt other people's feelings, to say no against something that you realize isn't really helping or serving you. When you know your why, you know that there's not just one way to get there. And whatever way you choose to get there, that's a choice. And it's also a choice about how you're going to feel about that process. Everything is a learning opportunity. Every time something happens to you, you can decide what you want to do with it. I hope this small story has helped you. And if you liked it, like, share, comment below, and look forward to seeing you in another episode. Bye.